Hey everyone, it is Heather Vickery. I'm live again 2 days in a row, which doesn't happen very often. Actually, I was live twice yesterday because I did the Brave in Action live show, which I do every single Wednesday. You can tune in either in the Brave on Purpose Facebook group or on our YouTube channel. YouTube is youtube.com/Heather Vickery. Why am I here today? You all may be wondering. So it's funny, right? I'm going to get to why I'm here. I promise. If you have been listening or hanging out, you know this. Maybe this is news for you. I took Facebook off my phone the week before Christmas, and I decided not to put it back on because it's distracting for me. And I knew that I could manage my Facebook use better if I committed to only getting on when I was on my computer, and I'm really only on my computer during business hours, and I could put a continued block schedule time for it. But since I've done that, I'm actually having more fun on Facebook. It doesn't feel like a drag anymore or like a responsibility. Now I get to be really thoughtful and intentional with it. So here I am twice in a 2-day time frame, 3 times actually in a 2-day time frame. But here is why I'm here today. And I'm going to have to go back and tag her. Y'all, I just released the 200th episode of the Brave Files podcast. 200 freaking episodes. I can't begin to tell you how much work that has been. Back in very early March of 2018, is that right? 18, 19, yeah, 2018, I had this idea to start a podcast where I would interview people who step out of fear and into bravery in every possible way. I knew that there were thousands of stories out there, people whose stories deserve to be told, and people who really deserve to hear these stories because they could see themselves in the people that I wanted to interview. I had this idea while I was cooking dinner. I'd been wanting to start a podcast for a long time, but I didn't really want a traditional business podcast, and I couldn't figure out what I would fall in love with, what I would be passionate with. So I got the idea. I put down the knife I was chopping my vegetables with. I went to my computer, I bought the URL, and I put together a Google form. And then I went onto Facebook and I said, I'm starting a podcast. If you have a brave story to tell, let's have you on the show. And I had tons of responses. I made one specific email request to my good friend, former client, Brian C. Johnson, who is the CEO of Equality Illinois. His commitment to social justice work is extraordinary. I don't have it with me. He's got a new book out called Your Share, I think. Oh gosh, Brian, if I got your book name wrong, I'm sorry. But you guys can find his book along with any of the books of any of the people who have been on the Brave Files at vickeryandco.com/books. And I have 3 different book lists for you. So that's through bookshop.org. You can actually order the books there. My favorite books in general, the Brave Library, so books for personal professional development, and also the Brave Files Library, books for many of our guests. All of it to say, Brian said yes. He was my first episode. And then it's just been rolling ever since. And the show, I found out last fall, I didn't even know this, that the Brave Files podcast is a top 1.5% global podcast. Y'all, there are a lot of podcasts out there. So I'm so honored by that. And then today I released the 200th episode of the Brave Files. And it was an interview with somebody that I adore. My good friend, Sunny Von Mutiny. Did I get your last name right, Sunny? Because this is a challenge for me. It's just a fucking challenge. Your last name is hard for me to say. But I love you. Sunni, Sunny, my sweet friend who was a roommate house guest of ours for a while she was living nomadically. We talk about that in the interview. She and her husband are also raising this freaking gorgeous human being as non-binary, which I think is incredibly cool. She is just an amazing human being. And I've known her for a long time. And I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago, I was like, gosh, Sunny, I've never had you on the show. I'd love to have you on the show. And so we got her scheduled and we did the interview. And at the time, I did not realize that Sunny was going to be our 200th episode. And she is. And that feels right to me. It feels really lovely. And I'm so proud of the show. I have to give a special thanks to really everyone who has helped me make the show from the beginning. The first and foremost, the person I have to thank the most is Andrew Olson. Andrew has been my editing partner in crime. Y'all, I'm going to turn my heater off. I'll probably get cold, but it's more quiet. Andrew's been my editing partner in crime forever. I tried to edit the first few episodes myself. I'm not an editor. It very quickly became clear that that was not a thing that I wanted to do. And I found Andrew, I met Andrew, and we made a deal, and he has saved my ass so many times. He worked so hard. He's an integral part of getting me to this point. And I'm so incredibly grateful for everything you've done, Andrew. Matt Lewis, my sweet, amazing, wonderful friend, Matt Lewis, who I've known forever. We used to work together when I was a wedding planner. He is a musician and a band leader and so talented. I just casually said to Matt one day, I want to have custom music for my podcast. And he made it. He was like, what inspires you? And I told him, and he created this gorgeous theme song for me. Matt did that. It's just absolutely incredible. And I'm super grateful. Over the course of the years, I've had a number of different people helping me write show notes, but the people who have been around for quite some time, and they were really integral. Sabrina Delmonico, I appreciate that. B. Bocus, thank you. And currently our show notes are being written by Jacob Norman, and they are wonderful. And I love you, Jacob, and I'm grateful for you. I'm so glad to have you on the team. Molly Hickson team has been wonderful with marketing and promotion. Hanny, my new assistant, is doing a lot of promotion and love. I just couldn't do it without all of these people, and I have to give them some love. I just had to say thank you. All of the guests, you guys, I have interviewed 200 incredible people. They're absolutely wildly incredible people. So incredible that when I decided to write my new book, my best-selling book, Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap, I wanted to feature case studies. And so part of the book is a memoir. And part of the book, hey, Deborah, how are you? And somebody else says, yay, 2000. I stopped in the middle of the episode when I noticed you were live. Oh, I don't know who said that, but thank you for listening. And I hope you'll go back and finish listening. And I appreciate that you decided to pop over and come in live. I have a guess. Is that Itai, maybe, who said that? Possibly? I'm not sure. Part of this book is memoir style, and part of it is case studies that are clients. And then I feature a ton of my amazing podcast guests. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't created this thing. I talk with my clients all the time, and I just talked about it. I was a guest moderator for This Week in Weddings book club conversation last night. We did the Big Leap, and it was so fun. And we talked about this idea of taking the invisible and making it visible, taking just something that's in the ether, a thought, a passing moment, and then creating it and holding it in your hand. And that notion came to me from my podcast, from my show. I interviewed a woman named Jennifer Royal. Gosh, I wish I knew which episode it was, but it's one of the earlier ones. And she is a German hypnotist and magician and a really fascinating human being. And I had just at the time when I did that interview with her, released my first gratitude journal, which is called Shift Your Focus. And she said to me, Heather, you're a magician too. You're a magician too. You took something that was invisible and you made it visible. It didn't exist, and now you hold it in your hand. You are a fucking magician. And I love that. And I want that for all of you. What kind of magic will you create with your life? You don't have to be a business owner. What are you going to take from invisible to visible and create? Like I did the Brave Files, like I did the first gratitude journal, Shift Your Focus, like I did the second gratitude journal, Grow Grateful, like I did the book, Fuck Fearless, like I did my second podcast, Was It Chance? And most recently, the Create Brave cards, the manifestation card deck that I did with Rachel Swanson. We can do anything. My business, this room that we're in was the same thing for my partner, Bernadette, and I. It was a open, lofty, back porch, icky, messy space. And we wanted a beautiful space to do videos and presentations and speaking engagements, and we decided to create it, right? It didn't exist and now it does, and here we are. And it's amazing to me. And I love that so much. And I just want you all to celebrate and celebrate and celebrate with me the joys of creating, of believing in yourself, of stepping into that concept of everyday brave. There are so many ways. We did in December, I did the My Brave Today challenge. So my friend Itai is here. Itai did it with me. Rachel did it a little bit. And I think Diane Wingert did it as well. And it gets hard to say what you did that was brave every day, but we all did it for 31 days. We all did it. And sometimes the bravest thing we can do is slow down and say no. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is get up and take a shower or have a second cup of coffee. This is actually tea, but I love my little grateful mug. Who knows what it's going to be, but sometimes we can do big fucking things too, right? And that's amazing. So here's where I'm getting to. I want you to celebrate with me, and I'm going to thank you for celebrating with me. It's the 200th episode of the Brave Files podcast. This particular episode with Sunny, we talk about energy. We talk about energy as a form of money, of payment. You can barter with it. It's incredible. It's such a good conversation. So here is my request. I want to be able to do another 200, another 600, another 1,000 episodes of the Brave Files podcast. The only way we can grow the show is if you help me grow the show. So here's what I'm asking. I am asking you to do one of a number of things. Go on to Spotify and or Apple Podcast, rate, and review the show. It makes all the difference in the world. Share the show. You can share links. You can screenshot it. You can do whatever. You can share it on TikTok. You can share it on YouTube. You can share it on Facebook. You can share it on Twitter or Pinterest or Instagram or LinkedIn. Share it anywhere you want to share it. Be sure to tag, depending on where you are. I'm at Vickery & Co. in most of the places. On Instagram, I also have the Brave Files podcast has its own Instagram account. If you share it, and if you do a subscribe, rate, and review, and you screenshot it and you send it to me, I'm going to enter you to win prizes, and I'm going to give away fucking everything. I'm going to give away a copy of Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap. I'm going to give away paperback version, which I should have in the mail later this week. It's Thursday, so maybe the weekend. So you're going to get a paperback. It'll be signed. I will sign it. I will send it to you. I am going to give away a copy of Shift Your Focus, which is my gratitude journal for adults. It's guided, 180 unique prompts to help you connect with gratitude in a unique way. There's also a little bit of a book in here that talks about my journey towards gratitude, why gratitude matters, what's the science behind it, different ways to practice it. And then I love there are all so many awesome quotes because I'm a quote girl. I'm going to give away a copy of Grow Grateful, right? It's geared towards kids and families. The questions are a tiny bit different. The intro is a little different. The quotes are all from kids, and I love them. Let's just find one. Nora, age 15. Gratitude is not just being thankful inside, but being thankful enough to share with others. Yes. So I'm going to give away one of each of these, a copy of Fuck Fearless, and a Create Brave card deck, which is my newest, coolest product. They are so gorgeous and so amazing. Rachel, the fabulous Rachel Swanson, did all of the artwork, and then she and I collaborated together on each card has its own word and mantra. The Create Brave guidebook is in alphabetical order. It matches coaching guidance, brave action, create brave prompts, things you can go and do right away. If you want to win either of the books or the Create Brave card deck, then you got to share. The more you share, the more you'll be entered to win. Remember, you can share on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Pinterest, you'll have to send me screenshots for because I don't Pinterest very often, but you can do it any way you want to do it. You just got to make sure you tag me so that I can see it. If you also, by rating and reviewing on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, you got to take a screenshot, send it to me. that will count. You will get as many entries as you share, because I want to get the word out as much as possible about the show that I have put so much heart and soul and love into. And this is how I like to celebrate. I like to celebrate by giving. And I am asking for something in return, because I need this from you in order to grow this show in every way possible. I really need it. And I am grateful beyond measure. And we will celebrate together. And I will give away so many prizes. I hope that you will take me up on this. I want to be spammed like crazy on all the platforms with sharing and sharing and sharing. I will also say, if you already have all of these products and you win, you could send it to somebody else. If you just got your Create Brave card in the mail, or you already have the books and you win, then you could I can send it to anyone you want. All right. So I love you guys. I thank you. I can't wait to see how you're going to share and what you're going to say. And I'm already grateful beyond measure. Thanks for tuning in with me again, the third time, 2 days in a row. I don't know how often I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it a lot. I appreciate all your kind words. Thank you. It says, you're a rock star, Heather. So thankful to know you. I'm starting to write entries in the gratitude journal you wrote. That means the world. Thank you so much. I'm getting congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate you all. I will be around. Thank you. Have a great Thursday. Bye.